Hello, people. It's Awakened Sheeple. My name's Clint, by the way. Today's November 15th, and we begin our journey anew. So, I've been doing a study, kind of, just to see the truth. That's what drove me through all of this, anyways, was truth, truth, truth. I'm sick of liars, people lying about everything, you know, and I want nothing to do with it. I don't want it in my life at all. And I've been seeking to see all kinds of different things. And the things that he's leading me to look at now are a little strange, but it directly correlates with what's going on in the world today. So just bear with me. A few nights ago, I was like, because, I've been removed from the world pretty much. I try to stay in prayer without ceasing. Still struggling with that part because I found myself just, distracted by the world, having to do the things that you have to do every day normally, and still trying to concentrate enough to get through that and pray is difficult. So I haven't, or I do not watch TV anymore. I do like to watch on YouTube my brothers and sisters that the Lord led me to. And I got to say, I appreciate every single video that you put out because when I'm not reading the Word, I want to hear the Word. And when the Lord's not telling me the Word, I go on and I listen to the Word from you guys. And you guys provide me so many things for like confirmation. So I'm going to put a bunch of stuff out here. And it might be hard to take in for some of the people because this message is diverse. And that he likes it diverse. He likes multifaceted formats and things. And I'm talking about my Father, Jesus Christ, just in case you were wondering. So if you're scared of that, then you should probably run along. If you're not, and or you just don't believe and you hate on him, well, maybe you want to listen to this too, because there's a little bit of everything for everybody in here. Okay, so I'm doing a study on truth, and I'm asking him to just show me the blunt, period, honest to God, goodness truth. And I want to see what is being shown to the public. What are they doing to the public? And in a simplified form of speaking a broad subject, they are preparing you for the great delusion. Like, there are so many fools. You can look at any one of the new movies that the Hollywood people are putting out, and if you can go in there and take it from a biblical reference, just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to play, the advocate and the adversary. You've taken one role your whole life. Look at it from the other role. Put the shoe on the other foot and see what it looks like, and discern the truth for yourself, because you're going to scare yourself when you start realizing the truth. So, my mom took me to church every Sunday, every Wednesday for years and years and years. And we ended up, my mom loved sci-fi movies. And when all the new sci-fi movies were coming out back then, like Star Wars, Star Trek, and Doctor Who, and all of those different, Battlestar Galactica, all those different movies, she took me to the theater and we would go watch them, and it opened my imagination. But what's in your imagination is okay as long as you're not thinking to exalt yourself, or you're not placing yourself in a position of control, or you receive large sums of money and you have many slaves. I mean, I don't know what you think, but it's not so much what comes into you, but what you entertain in your mind when you look at these things. So, taking that little piece of it and going a little further with it, what do they want you to entertain your mind with? Why do they want you distracted? Because watching TV is nothing but a distraction from praying to the Lord. That's what he's told me over and over and over, again and again and again. Prepare yourself. Stop watching TV. Don't take pain medication because it's not trustworthy for some reason. There's stuff in it that'll just... Don't trust any pain medication. If you have pain, take it to the Lord and ask Him to relieve you of pain. Ask somebody to pray over you, to relieve you from the pain, to heal you. I've been healed myself. I'm a living testimony to God's grace. And I've been having the Spirit of God move over me the entire morning, trying to figure out the message He's trying to put out there. So I was asking Him, I'm like, God, I've been praying non-stop for days and days and days and days and months now, and I've removed myself from the world, and I've cut myself off from 90% of the things that I used to just take for granted. And there are still a few things that, certain foods or whatever that you're going to return to. You're not going to go pigging out on it, but you still enjoy it, so you're going to return to it and partake a little bit, and that's okay. But I was asking Him for a break. I said, just something normal, something of this world for just a little bit. And it was funny. He's like, you want something of this world? Okay, here it goes. I want you to get up. I want you to go grab that movie. And I'm like, which one? And just put your hand up there. And he grabbed a movie for me because he wanted me to see something. And I was sitting there asking Him for truth and saying, how do you know for sure the truth? Like, how do you know for sure, without doubt, without question? Just, it is truth. And He's going to show it to me. So I picked up Tron, and it's, I've always been into sci-fi since my mom showed it to me when I was a kid and entertained my fantasy imagination and all that stuff. So I've always watched it. So of course I've got a lot of different sci-fi movies. So he just picked one, just Tron, the new one made in 2012. And I thought it was a pretty good movie and stuff. And dear Lord, it's an unholy abomination. The suits they wear show the representation of the devil or the beast, the mark, over and over again. What? Yeah, it does. Just, you never saw it? Well, ask the Lord and He'll show it to you. So, like the female in that movie, the female warrior that they bring in, okay? Now this is where it got a little strange for me, because He wanted me to see that so that I could hear something, so that I could say this. You understand that? It all follows sequence. You got to do one thing to get to the next thing, to get to the next thing. And step A leads to step B, leads to step C. Here I am talking to you about it. So the main part of the movie that He wanted me to see, there was like 3 different things. And one was the symbology of the upside down triangle all over the place. 2 was where Jeff Bridges speaks of his creation, the grid. And, well, he's the creator now. And he even says it. And it's like he takes the biblical text and turns it from where God created to He created. And when I heard that, I had the holy goosebumps all over me. And he says, see? Oh my goodness. So, moving on. The female warrior shows up and rescues the young guy that just got sucked into this grid, the Matrix. And her name's Korah. And she's of a race of these things, whatever. And they call themselves the Isomorphs. And do you know what the name Korah is or relates to? Who is Korah? Okay, at this part of the video, this is where I say, turn to Numbers 16 and read it. Okay? That's Korah. Right there. Bible in your face, right there on the TV screen. They don't say it. It's blatantly obvious. Because I heard the word and I'm like, God, I recognize that name from somewhere. And it kept ringing through my head, Korah, 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 for the last 2 days. And I'm listening to a video today. Guess what the video's about? Pastor Paul Begley made a video today about the sinkhole in Florida sucking up a house. So I was just, I should say, partially interested. I wasn't totally listening. But about 3 minutes into his video, he mentions Korah. And I'm like, what? And I had to go back and listen to the whole video again just to get that name. Then I did a search. So I spent about 3 hours this morning trying to find where I've heard this name before. Where have I heard this name before? And why is he doing a video? And then it says Korah, and I hear Korah on that movie, and God's just showing me so many things that if you don't believe that you're being prepared, go watch Tron, and you'll see it for yourself. You're being prepared in so many ways. What are all the movies today talking about or showing you? It's zombies, the fallen. Well, what has fallen, huh? What has fallen? Well, God cast something out of the first estates. What was that? Well, those were the fallen angels that decided to follow, you know, the dark. And that's all I'll say about that. So, all of these movies are leading to one singular message. There's going to be an event. Everybody's going to go crazy at once. And everybody's going to run crazy at once. And that's what they want you to do. Why? Why do they want you running mindless with fear and terror down the street? Why do they want you to do this? Because it's in every single movie. Look at every single movie. The rapture is represented in so many different movies. If you haven't noticed it, it's the blue light that sucks you up. And all of the movies, they're an unholy abomination. But the representation is right there. I don't know how you call it in biblical terms, but you can take one thing, the parable of it, and say, look, it's the same. It's the same. So what's in number 16? What is it that's in number 16 that's represented in the movie by that woman, Korah? So what is it that Pastor Paul Begley's saying in the sinkhole video that he made about Korah? Those that murmur against God are going to be swallowed by the earth. So take that however you will. It says it right here in the good book. You're seeing it live in the world. The sinkholes, those people that those sinkholes are swallowing up. Hey, I'm not saying they're bad. God is. I'm not saying they did anything wrong. God's showing you what's going on. And if you don't open your eyes and see the truth, and you say, oh, it's just coincidence. It's just coincidence. I mean, everything's coincidence until it's stuffed down your throat. It's coincidence. What's coming is going to be a mirror. It's a direct reflection. And what it's going to do to you is your own worst fear. It's going to be brought before your eyes. Now, my fear is of God. I fear God. Above everything else, I fear God because I know what he can do to my soul. I've seen it. I fear God. Anything else? Nah. Not worried about anything else except God. I don't know what's in your heart, but if you fear guns, you're going to have problems with guns. If you fear knives, you're going to have problems with knives. And if you fear fire, you're going to have problems with fire. All I'm saying is, fear is not of God. Fear is of something else. And if it's in your heart, you don't have Jesus. You need Jesus because that is the only thing that will reflect the fear that is going to be brought down upon this world when the calamities that are going to happen. It's been preordained by God. It says it in the Bible over and over again. And if you don't read it and learn the truth for yourself and you prefer to stay in your ignorance, well, that's okay. My brother feels the same way about these things. And you guys can kick back for the 7 years that the world's going to go through its upheavals and regret every minute of it because I've seen it. And he's shown it to me over and over again. He's even shown me this fear. What people are going to be doing, they're going to be running like mindless zombies in a panic. They're going to be seeking to escape, to hide. Run and hide is going to be your only thought. And it is. It's going to be your only thought. And that you're going to only find one solace, and that is Jesus Christ. I mean, pure and simple. And if you don't go in with a full heart, well, that's you'll find him sooner or later because he's coming and he's swallowing up people that are murmuring against God. So it's the holy book brought to life. Amen.